Wall.
Amen. So who do we have with us today,
We
sir?
have the Pastor Larry Austin from the Bay Area. Good morning, my brother. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
Hey man, thank you, man. It's a real wake up too. 7:30. It's for real, man. But God bless y'all.
Right.
Man, I'm just going to straight up ask, what part of the Bay Area are you from?
From Oakland, from the
Oh,
Oakland area.
so you from
Yeah.
Oaktown?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so were you born, bred there, or you transplanted there?
I was kind of born. I'm a Bay Area native, man. My family lived in Oakland. I was born in San Francisco. Grew up in Oakland till about middle school. Got in a little trouble. We moved to Richmond. Got in a little more trouble, but
Yeah,
got a
Richmond.
football scholarship, man. So I kind of stayed in the Bay Area my whole growing up period.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask some questions because, I was up in the Bay Area for about 6 years. And
Okay.
so I'm gonna ask some questions just so that I'll know what's still happening in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Y'all still got Blondie's Pizza?
Yeah, they still got a Blondie. Still got Blondie's. Berkeley down there. Me and my wife. She was my girlfriend there. That was one of our favorite spots. But yeah, still got Blondie's. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what does Merritt look like? Merritt, the Merritt area. Do they still got that restaurant that all the church folks used to go to that burnt down? But did they rebuild it?
Well, you talking about Lake Merritt Bakery or?
No, it was like I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was like a Denny's. But everybody would go there after church.
Maybe you're talking chicken waffles. I don't remember that one.
Okay. So my last question
Okay.
is, what you know about East 14th and Fruitville?
Oh man, that whole East 14th, man. They call it international now, but yeah, the whole East 14th, man. That was the whole strip. You ride that. That was part of the hangout spot, man. One of my spots I minister on right now. I'm on 83rd and East 14th, man. So, yeah, East 14th, man. That's the spot.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna say, yeah. He definitely is from that Bay Area boogie.
I didn't know we was in a test, man. I grew up in West Oakland, man. So, yes, sir. I know about the man.
Yeah, because I actually did counseling at Castlemont High School, and I did some work over in the Oakland area, Oakland Tech, and Skyline and Havers Court, all them places.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, Oakland, man. It's born and bred, kind of blessed me, man. Both the pain and the struggle, but also the resiliency of the people, man. I learned that growing up. I saw we going through it, but we getting through it though, right? And so that gave me drive as God kind of led me on my journey, man. So yes, sir.
So let's go on this. Pastor Larry Austin, tell us who he is.
Man, a servant called by God, man. I was selfish, trying to do my own thing, man. But God put His hand on me in such a way that He ceased being my grandmama Jesus. He became my Jesus. And I just been having a time of my life. 25 years, man. When I was trying to go up, God took me low, but took me low with Him. Taught me some stuff about not just this world, but who I am and whose I am. And began to show me where the hurt was, man, and kind of begin to put His heart in me to say, man, now take me, your body, take me over there so I can reach after them and give them some of what I gave you. So that's simply who I am, man. Just trying to serve the King with the time I got left on the clock, man.
Amen.
Wow, I think it's awesome. I'm very much into your street ministry. How did you transition into your street ministry, which your singing is a part of as well?
Right. And it's wild, man. I had stopped rapping now. In real talk, I'm 48 years old, man. Like my time was like, I had left rapping. I'm a pastor at a church about 5 years ago.
Right.
I'm just doing what the Lord had told me to do. And me and another pastor was working together. And so we kind of shared the pulpit. I was focused on what we do outside. He was focused on what the church does inside. And man, it just I began to get stale, kind of just like, okay, we got this going. I felt I needed something else. So I said, I'm gonna go volunteer at Juvenile Hall. Wow. I went and volunteered at Juvenile Hall, man. And I'm there to just do my intake paperwork. And he said, well, I'm gonna take you. Let's meet some of the kids in the Bible study I do. You ain't gotta say nothing, just watch, and we'll talk about your schedule, get you set up. So I go in, I ain't prepared to say nothing. He turned to him and said, you know what? I got to meet some people at the gate. I'm going to just let you go ahead. I'm going to introduce you, let you lead the study.
That was a setup.
But I got something to say, though, right? And so next thing I know, we start talking. He introduced me. About an hour and a half passed, and the guard started knocking on the window saying, hey, man, go ahead and wrap it up. You got 5 minutes. And when he said that, the young brothers was like, oh. And I was like, oh. And what I found that happened was, God was like, Larry, who is going to pastor them? Now, he wasn't talking youth, but they from the streets.
Right.
He basically said, they youth. If you didn't have football and coaches and family to intervene,
Wow.
that's you sitting in one of these cells because you was trying to do exactly what they did, but you just got pulled out of that. So you got to go back to where they came from, which led me to focus on the streets, right? Because they're not coming to church, Larry. You know they're not looking for the church. They not, unless it's a funeral or something, they ain't coming. Right. So God began to burden me with an unction to take what I put in you down there. Now, it was wild because for the first, and he told me simply, food and music, let that gift make room for you. Now, I was scared for about 2 weeks in. He told me to do it. I bought the sound system and was scared. And I wasn't scared to go do it, but I was scared that how do I start?
Right.
Like I've done outreach on the streets where somebody introduced you. Coming up next is.
Right.
But here I am, just me and Jesus, and he like, get on out there. And so I finally just said, you know what? I'm going to go to Mosswood Park. They're playing basketball. I ain't got to really engage. I'm going to just turn the music on and start rapping. So I did that. Next thing I know, folks was coming up saying, hey, that's you. That's gospel. Like, you got this on CD? So God just opened up a platform. And then we've been on the streets now running. I've been across the country, man, been international, taking this gospel to the streets. So that's kind of how God pulled me in and out of the church building. Nothing wrong with the church building. But he said, I got you on another section of the wall. I need you to go down there. So I've been having the time of my life, my brother.
I think it's amazing how God, he positioned you to where that guy he left to go to the gate. That was a setup by God.
It was.
It forced you out of your comfort zone.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, let's talk about the music because you say you're 48 and we would say, oh, that's kind of old for a rapper. But see, one thing about God, he never takes something from you. He adds. So you were already a rapper. So he said, I'm just going to flip the script and you're going to use it for me. Let's talk about your rap.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rap is so big because, like I say, man, I felt what you just said. Like, I'm older now. I've been doing Christian rap, I got saved 25 years ago, 1995, March 21st, the Lord saved me. And I started off rap. And then I just got to a place in my journey was like, because again, I've been mostly rapping in the church and for the church, right? And I did outreach events, but I'm rapping to the choir, if you will. Like, I'm just going to stay in my lane. Right. So what God did is when I went into juvenile hall that day to get myself started and open up the conversation, I did a couple acapella verses. And when I did them verses, it just opened up a window. Like they tuned into me like, this ain't just a pastor coming to talk to us.
He's a street dude.
Somebody like us talking our language. And so when that happened, God told me when I got back to Christ, like, you got to get back on the music. And so that resuscitated, just kind of forget what I look like, how old I am. You got something to say and you can't go to the grave with this in you.
Come on.
And so that pulled on that gift and it made me put it back into place without fear. And now I'm at my best right now. I'm doing my best work because I know who I'm talking to. I know why I'm doing it now. I ain't trying to get a deal. I ain't trying to get signed. I ain't trying to blow up. It's just many, many sermons to take to the streets, and music can carry a conversation better sometimes than we can just talk.
So let me ask you a question. You are 48 years old. Let's talk about your family and how are they actively involved in your ministry?
Yeah, well, my family, man. So I have 3 daughters, 28, 24. And 19, only the 19-year-olds still with us right now. The others going to college and doing their thing. And so, it's my wife. We've been together, high school sweetheart, been with me the whole journey through the hills and valleys, brokenness, football scholarship, thinking I'm the man, all of that. So we survived together. God kept us together. And really, they know who I am. And they know whose I am. And so as I've been running and burning this flame for the King, they understand that this is my dying work, right? And so it's been a beautiful thing to see them support me because now I've become a little more known, if you will. Like right now, the pull on me is greater because we're doing something that's I'm in a lane that not everybody is in. Yeah. So it's been a beautiful time to just see them rally behind me, man, support me. My daughter, sometimes they help me shoot my music videos. So I edit my own stuff.
Wow.
Daughter just shoot the video for me and I get the edit. So it's a beautiful thing to see the family working with me.
So this is a rumor and I'm going to ask the rumor and you can tell me if it's true or not.
Okay.
Is it true that your wife can spit better than you?
Oh God.
No. My wife don't rap at all.
Okay, I just wanted to make
See,
sure because rumor had it that one day you was in the studio and she walked in and said, "Babe, you did this all wrong. Let me show you how to do it right quick." And she actually gave you your energy. You know what I'm saying? And then she gave you a kiss on the cheek and said, "Now go out there and go forth before the people."
She taught me well, huh? I love my wife though
Right.
because she remake all my songs.
Uh-huh.
What I say, she do another verse to it. She'll say part of what I said and mix up her own stuff with it. I'm like, you gonna make me go out there and say something different.
Right.
Don't say
So
no more.
you influenced her.
Say it again.
You influenced her. You helped bring out some of her rapping skills too.
Right. She listening. So yeah. Amen.
Now let's talk about your scholarship to Portland, Portland State. That's Division I, bro. So you was pretty good athlete. Let's talk about that.
I was good, man, and they was actually Division II at the time, and I played. They was playing a Division I schedule.
Right.
Was making that climb to where they are now, but it was a national program. A lot of people went pro out of there.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful for me because it was the only school that offered me a scholarship that I could transfer in right in the spring. Other schools, I had to take some more classes.
Yep.
But Portland State was like, man, you could come up here. And then Portland was beautiful because it's a major city with no pro football team.
Right.
So the college team was
the main team.
Backed out. I'm hanging out with the Portland Trailblazers like I'm some on the news rapping. Even though I wasn't rapping about the Lord back then.
Right.
The gift was always there.
Right.
But it just gave me a space that wasn't too far away from the house. You know, I could drive back in 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know, flight was only an hour and a half. But yeah, so it was good, man. Portland State was beautiful, I think, because it really allowed me to get away from home far enough so I could kind of grow up, make some mistakes, learn some life, like, you know, have my struggles and fight through some stuff while I was playing football and going to school. So that was a beautiful opportunity. That's all I wanted to do when I was little was play football.
Right.
And to get that scholarship, that was another God moment for me to say, man, I know some of the deeper dreams and desires I put in you, and he allowed those things to come to fruition.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this question, my friend. Is that you said that you had some ups and some downs. Let's talk about just your growing up in the Bay Area, because you talked about being born in San Francisco, then Oakland, then Richmond. Now, everywhere you went, it seemed like they say everywhere you go, there's trouble.
Richmond.
But they be like Richmond, rich what? Rich man. So what high school did you graduate from? And let's talk about how you were able to transition out of that troubled life.
Yeah, I think just that context of growing up in all of these different places, I feel like I've been a passenger in my journey, meaning I've been being carried places, being shown things. I grew up as an only child. My father was in prison most of my growing up, so I didn't have that man there. So I had a lot of long time in my head and in my thoughts, and so I kind of became an observer of life. And so as I passed through, as I was mentioning Oakland, I saw hustle, I saw struggle, I saw challenges, I saw cats trying to get the bag. I mean, I saw all of that, and it was almost like, do you see all of these roads? Do you see all of these paths people own? And it was kind of like, what road you gonna take? And so I really think one of my saving graces was the football thing, that God used coaches, right? Because I love football, to be that man's voice.
Yes.
In my life. And so I think that helped me. And I remember even the drug dealers, man, when I was in kind of Oakland area and the Richmond part of that time, they knew I played football. So I try to hang out because he's my friends. But then they like, man, you get out of here. You know what I'm saying? We finna do the real stuff. You got to go into the house,
we
man.
want you to make it.
They was watching out for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, without me even really understanding, they knew what I didn't know, that there's something else on you.
Right.
You can't come with us and do some of this foolishness. And so that's God's protective grace, man. So I survived through all of that, kind of by the grace of God, man. And I think, when football came calling, it was beautiful because when that door opened, man, like I say, I used to have T-shirts and put socks inside my T-shirt and run around and tackle my mama and grandmama and them.
Right.
That's all I wanted to do. And so football was a dream come true that God used to help me escape, man, my environment, man. But at the same time, be touched enough by it so that now it helps set me up for what I'm doing now. Like, I know that. I've seen that. I like some of these people I'm running into was on their trail of doing some of the wrong they was doing then, and now I'm seeing them out in tents now, and you know what I'm saying? I'm catching up to them later.
Right.
Yeah.
crazy because even like there's a glow on me. I don't like it's no credit of mine. I don't work out so good. It's none of that. It's just God has kept me.
Yes.
And I'm looking at people who looking like life been hard on them, right?
Yes.
And so God been gives to let them see like he's able to do something. And so I've been able to reunite with some folks and just by just being seen, like, man, you looking good. Like, man, I can just blame it on the Lord. And folks are able to kind of come to a place in that. So it's been beautiful to watch God take me from where I was to where I am.
Okay.
He's a testimony. You're the testimony. We're the only Bible that people will see, and I can relate from being a coach. I'm a high school track coach. God, and I'm a singer. So God takes me from different elements where I'm able to transition and be what I need to be for those young people, then transition when I need to be for the adults. So I can see how God wrapped all that into one gentleman and allowed you to be something for everybody.
That I didn't even know I was, right? Like, again, I was trying to go be something else, but he reaches inside of us and pulls the us he created out and said, no, I don't want him. I want him that's in there. Let me get to the core of you. And now I'm having the time of my life now. Like I said, like this is not work. This is like, I'm in my kids' joy, still using music, rapping, like doing what I wanted to do my life, but doing it for the Lord.
Right.
Well, you know, I got this is the last rumor I want to dispel, because you know, I want to just keep it real. You know, is it true that one day your wife came up to you and had a come to Jesus moment with you and say, if you don't get it right, she was like, she almost had her thug nasty on. She was gonna deal with you. Is that true? Is that true that she backed you up against the corner and said, look, we got to get this right?
No. She got real on some other stuff.
Okay.
Right.
It's some other come to Jesus moments we had.
But that wasn't the one.
Yeah, that wasn't one. But like, listen, here is the grace of God to keep intact the plan he had. Right. So when I go to college, you know, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. We had a baby early. So my oldest daughter, Hermione, you know, she was a baby when I got the football scholarship. So I leave, I go up there. Now I'm a football star. You know what I'm saying? And I got all kind of ladies. So I had another relationship, had another baby when I was out there. So my middle daughter, Brandy, is a whole nother relationship. Right. And so I come back home, I get saved, and I kind of am running to God first. And he's like, you've been trying to write your own movie. I already got the script written. I already got the people that supposed to play the certain roles in your life. Like, you got to back up out of all you tried to create and allow my plan to come to fruition. So that brought me and her back together to not just try to co-parent, but say, no, God has called us to be together and to see our relationship survive that. And you know that was a come to Jesus moment for me. I was a back you up in the corner.
That's a strong lady.
Yeah.
So she staked her ground. Like, I ain't playing none of that. Like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So God began to let me when I got real with him, he started putting the real stuff with me. And now I see those things last.
Come on, brother.
Time, because God is in.
Well, so man, the reason why I keep going back to your helpmeet or to your wife is because so many times as we go out and we do ministry and we fellowship and everything else that nature, many times people don't realize that we have warriors that are with us, called our spouses or our helpmeet that are with us, and so we want to salute her along with saluting you because she is in your life. You're being free to do the ministry that God has called you to do, and your testimony is stronger because so many people don't have the relationship. So many people don't have the marriage, or they're running from this person to this person, and you're letting them know, look, you could be as cool as fly and everything else, but if you listen to God's plan, He will give you the perfect plan.
Come on, I got a verse in one of my songs say. I say, now this is destiny, man. Jesus kept testing me, but steady blessing me, found out faith is the recipe. Message me. If you want to know about the king, but if you're a sister, don't mess with me. I already got a queen, right? So
that's good.
My wife, like, hey, I'll talk to you about anything. You got me, I'm yours. But if you're a sister, don't come this way. I ain't got time to play.
Amen.
I already got mine.
Now, when are you collaborating with E40 and MC Hammer, because they're all in your area?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, you know, who I'm trying to get in touch with is Master P, right? That's who I'm trying to get in touch with. So me and Master P, like, I know him, not like knowing phone calls and all that, but when he had his record store I was in high school my senior year working at Grand Auto across the street. I used to go over there buy tapes and we used to freestyle. And I was more positive back then. I wasn't gangster, right?
Mhm.
So his wife would always be like, oh, I like him. He positive, right? So I'm just trying to, now that I know he kind of touched with the Lord now,
Yes.
I want to circle the block if I can get connected to him, because I'm like, Pastor P, you know the streets. The streets know you. Like, help me expand this movement as I go down in the streets. You know, so that's one of the calls I'm told. If anybody out there listening, know Pastor P, let them know. PLA, Pastor Larry also trying to get in touch with him. And I got my website, all that. We find a way to get in contact with him.
Try Instagram. It works wonders.
Okay. Okay.
All the artists, and I'm telling you because we do radio, so we talk to a lot of people. Instagram is the first platform to reach them because they answer their own Instagrams.
Okay. That's a nugget right there.
So holy hookup.
Yeah. So my brother, we've enjoyed having this conversation with you. We want you to talk about this song that we're going to play today, and let's talk about the collaboration of it too.
Yeah, Can't Hold Back. Wow. So I just finished a project in March, and it really was a 25-year celebration. March 21st, like I say, 1995, I got saved. This year I was celebrating 25 years.
Wow.
And this song came later. I had 25 songs on the project. I was like done, and I just, 2 more songs came, and this was one of them. Can't Hold Back. And it's really talking about this praise, right? Praise is not just worship. It's not just in church. Praise is a lifestyle. It is a life of gratitude towards God. It is a life of thankfulness for all that God has done. So when I look back over 25 years, stuff God has carried me through, carried me over, done through me, in spite of me, like just God, right? And so it's just me saying, I'm taking this praise down to the streets, and I'm going to open up my mouth. I'm not going to let the devil do all the talking. So it's kind of in that vein. We shot it down as we were doing the outreach on 24th and MLK under the freeway. And so it was kind of the closing. And so it was just a great day in the Lord. And we got a chance to shoot the video as well. And so I always try to not use my videos as like I'm the artist. I try to show, no, I do my music on the street. Like I'm going to do some like artist rapping on it. But you see where I'm at doing this. So it's down in the street. Because I also want to show the church that it is bigger than the 4 walls.
Yes,
like if we because I think about it like this. Like it's like the church is like the huddle.
Yes.
Gather in the huddle. And we get juiced up to go out to play the game.
Go out.
But we don't stay in the huddle. All you got to say, ready, break. Now go run the play.
Right.
Run out the huddle and then run the play. And so I just feel like, it's a good rhythm to help the church recover what we learned. And we got to take outside to this world.
Well, guess what? We're forced to do it. Corona forced us to do it. God has a way of getting us to do what he wants us to do. We may not listen, but he makes us listen in the end.
Amen.
So tell everybody how they can find you and how they can connect with you.
So my website, all my stuff is there on my website. So www.PLA, the number 4, HIMPLA for him. Instagram is the one gospel, DA, the number 1 gospel. I think those are the 2 platforms that, kind of freaking. I'm also on Facebook, but, you can find that through my website. It'll take you right to my Facebook page.
Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from Pastor Larry Austin, PLA. This song that we're going to play for you now is a collaboration with G Money and Mike Wiggins and Big. Is that Chud?
Yeah, Big Chud.
Big Chud. And this is called Can't Hold Back right here on GODRadio1.com.